The Eagles have made two big signings over the past couple of hours here. One is a backup cornerback who's still very, very young, and the other is the Nick Foles 2.0, maybe not. Marcus Mariota finally is a Philadelphia Eagle, and we'll have an update on CJ Gardner-Johnson. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Friday. It has been a crazy week for Philadelphia, and it gets crazier and crazier with two brand new signings, followed by an update on CJ Gardner-Johnson. Let's start with Marcus Mariota finally joining the Eagles. Bleeding Green Nation has a great article here. Philly, you have your backup quarterback, and he's the one that we all talked about wanting the past couple of days, and the price is perfection. Thumbs up for Mariota finally joining the Eagles. Quote, with Gardner Minshew signing with the with the Indianapolis Colts, the Eagles found themselves in need of a new backup quarterback behind Jalen Hurts. Top option rate in the market was Marcus Mariota. Now he's joining the Birds on a one-year contract worth $5 million, $1.5 more than Minshew received, the max value of $8 million. They go on to say, once upon a time, Mariota was the prince who was promised in Philadelphia. He was supposed to be reunited with Chip Kelly, and the Eagles' former head coach reportedly tried to make that happen by trading up from their first pick at number 20 overall in the 2015 draft to select Mariota at number 2. Of course, that didn't happen, and the story goes on to talk about how Mariota never panned out with the Titans and really never turned into a decent starting quarterback in the National Football League. I want to throw these tweets up on your screen. You got to remember, Chip Kelly, of course, wins the Fiesta Bowl with Marcus Mariota. You see the tweet here from 94.1 WIP. This is back in 2015. And then this was the reported package. I remember thinking about this package, talking about this package with my friends all the way back on 4/30/15. What package are Eagles talking about to go to number 1 or number 2? 2 first-rounders, a third-rounder, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Boykin, Michael Kendricks, and more. That's what it would have cost to move up and get Marcus Mariota. Unbelievable. And then, of course, now it turns into just a 5-year, $1 million deal. Let's just be honest about this deal. This is great. This is a very good move by Philadelphia. It means they don't have to spend one of their very limited 5 draft picks on a backup quarterback and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who might still be an option if they were to trade back and really like him, but now you have a guy who can fill in if Jalen Hurts, heaven forbid, were to be injured, and he can fill in and run your offense. They tried to do basically the Eagles' offense in Atlanta this past season. Atlanta is not the same roster as Philadelphia, and Marcus Mariota can be successful in the Philadelphia offense. Now, again, the hope is you never see Marcus Mariota play at all while he's an Eagle. But if you need it, Jalen Hurts has a little shoulder injury, a little ankle tweak, whatever it is. He needs to, rest week 18, getting ready for number 1 seed in the postseason. You have a guy who can at least run the offense. It felt like Gardner Minshew didn't quite run the offense as well as Jalen Hurts did because he's not that mobile. Now you have a guy who is a very mobile quarterback who has had way more success running the football with the Atlanta Falcons and the Raiders and previously with the Tennessee Titans than throwing the football. And he can come in and be a very good mentor, be a very good backup, keep his head down, and I think this is a very good signing for Philadelphia. Thumbs up for that. He had the same amount of touchdowns, by the way, last season with Atlanta as Daniel Jones did with the Giants in terms of passing touchdowns. So do with that as you will. Pretty funny. The other interesting signing, again, nothing crazy, but here's a name from the past, Greedy Williams. The Eagles have agreed to contract with him. According to Bleeding Green Nation, quote, the Philadelphia Eagles secondary is starting to come together early in free agency. Along with re-signing James Bradbury, a roller coaster extension for Darius Slay, the team has agreed to terms with Greedy Williams, according to Mary Kay Kabat. Williams was the Browns' second-round pick in 2019, started all 12 games that he played his rookie season. Quarterback suffered a nerve injury in his shoulder in training camp the following year and ended up missing the entire 2020 season. Came back strong in 2021, finally starting half the games. He finished with 41 total tackles, 10 passes defended, 2 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. His 2022 campaign started on the IR with a hamstring injury, followed by 11 games, which he predominantly used in special teams role. Williams was a healthy scratch in Week 14, but did come back for the final 3 games of the season, but still only for snaps on special teams, end quote. So you're asking yourself, Thomas, this seems more like if we didn't get Darius Slay, then we'd get Greedy Williams signing, and that's not necessarily the case. This is depth, and Greedy Williams might be able to play the slot as well, and he might be able to play some safety as well. I see that as kind of the important signing here. Also, it's super cheap. It's like 1 year, $2 million deal with incentives, and so you're not costed or spending anything. Think of it like Rashard Penny. You're bringing in a guy who has been successful at the position all the way back. His rookie year was very successful at the position, but it's been banged up a ton, not at very good organizations that are going to focus on his growth. Now he can come in and potentially have a chance to play, whether it's third string cornerback behind Slay and Bradbury, whether it's nickel, whether it's filling in at safety at times, whether it's dime coverage opportunities, who knows? But this is another very low risk, very high reward sort of signing. I put it in the same category as Penny, except Penny will probably play a lot more because he's at a very I'd say, more needy position at running back versus having Slay and Bradbury in front of you. But he gets to learn behind Slay and Bradbury, right? He's 25 years old. I mean, he's as old as I am. I'm 26, but still very, very young. I think this is a great move for Philadelphia. Thumbs up for that. Do you prefer which one? Do you prefer Mariota over Williams? Let me know what you guys think down below right now. Before we go ahead and get into the Gardner-Johnson update, a lot of you guys are waiting for that. I just want to quickly say thank you to getting me 10,000 subscribers. 10,000 subscribers in 5 months is unbelievable. And the fact that it's been a very fun community, a very fun growth, I cannot thank you guys enough here. The Eagles community, the NFL community, the guys that want to watch me every single day, bottom of my heart, I really appreciate that. And I'll just say this, I have something very special planned for next week. I thought it was going to be ready for this weekend. It's not. It's going to be ready middle of next week. So if you want to help me get to 11K, subscribe, because I'm telling you, very cool launch happening next week. I think a lot of you guys are going to have a lot of fun with that, but I can't tell you what it is yet because it's not ready. Okay, let's go over here to the update on CJ Gardner-Johnson, PhillySportsNetwork.com, and Thomas R. Peterson have a good update here. This is GJ. Is he going to sign today? Why has he not been signed? It's very confusing to me, but let's try and break it down. Quote, what the heck is going on with the Eagles and CJ Gardner-Johnson? No one knows the answer to the $14 million question. However, the answer seems to lie somewhere in the middle, like that in the $9 to $11 million range. Jeff Mosher of Inside the Birds brought some perspective to the Eagles situation during an interview with Crossing Broad. In it, the plugged-in reporter revealed that the Eagles and Gardner-Johnson are indeed talking. The team wants him back. It's just a matter of how much they are willing to invest. The Denver Broncos have also made a competitive offer, according to Mosher. I don't know about the Broncos. I do know that the Broncos are in the mix, so I'm sure they made a competitive offer. He's competitive as far as trying to get him, Mosher said. And I don't know what the numbers are on either offer, but I do know the Eagles are working and do want him back. If I'm CJ, I'm hoping there are 3 or 4 teams instead of just 1 or 2, because obviously that helps the price tag, but I don't think he's going to get $14 million a year. Mosher set his price range of the former Eagles safety between $9 and $11 million. All-Pro Jesse Bates receives $16 per year from the Atlanta Falcons, and all due respect to Gardner-Johnson, he's more of a traditional safety without the recent injury history. For comparison's sake, Von Bell got roughly $7.5 million. Marcus Epps got $6 million a year, hence the number here of $11 million. And I think Thomas R. Peterson has a really good breakdown of this on his Twitter a couple minutes ago. Quote, regarding CJ, his market obviously isn't as anticipated. Bengals are bringing in Nick Scott and Taylor Rapp for visits. Doesn't appear Denver has made an offer per Benjamin Albright, and the Eagles can't afford to sell out. The longer the wait, the higher chance of re-signing, end quote. And so essentially what you have here is Gardner-Johnson thought he was going to get $15, $16, $17 million a year, and that's just not been his overall price tag. And with Jesse Bates, who historically has been a better safety, maybe not in the future, I think Gardner-Johnson's going to be better this season, but historically he's been better. He got $16 million a year, and so the Eagles are saying, we're not going to give you more than 15, and Gardner-Johnson is waiting out and hoping there's another football team to come in and swoop in and take over his services. My guess is they're looking at a 1-year deal. I read a couple of stories on Twitter talking about you can make it a 1-year, very heavily incentive-ridden deal, kind of like a franchise tag, but a little bit cheaper than a franchise tag. And that way, if he starts all 17 games and he has 5 interceptions or whatever it is, he makes more money. And then he can retest the market next offseason, potentially after showcasing to the world back-to-back multi-5+ pick seasons in order to go ahead and get more money. And so I think money's the issue. I think money's the reason why he's not signed. But I will say this, it's Friday. And it's early on a Friday. And so maybe we get news before the weekend, but it's just crazy to me that it has taken this long. I think he's being a little bit, not stubborn, because we always say, go get your money, but I think he's waiting for that one final big offer, and it has not come. And the longer we wait, I think the better chances Philadelphia has of re-signing him. So stay tuned and subscribe, because I'll have that show as soon as it happens, so make sure you stay ready for that. All right. I think it's been one of the craziest off seasons in Eagle history, not because of the big name signings, but because of how he has done to work the cap. We still have a Jalen Hurts contract coming. Hopefully CJ gets signed. It's going to be a crazy weekend, so stay plugged in, stay tuned. I'm Thomas Mott, 10,000 subscribers strong. Thank you guys. This has been Thomas Mott Show.